Hello guys, welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about really awesome suggestions in the Anime Vanguards Discord, and I just wanted to bring some spotlight into these really great suggestions that I think could really do well for Anime Vanguards. And I know that this video probably won't really do well in terms of views, but I'm doing this because there's a lot of really unseen great suggestions out there. By the way, if you guys don't know already, our original goal is to reach 100k subscribers, and by subscribing before we get to 100k, then you officially get to be part of the OG subscribers of AB Plays, the OG subscriber group, and all you really need to do in order to be part of it is to like and subscribe before we reach 100k. Let's get started, guys. Alright, so first and foremost, these are all from the Discord, and the reason why I'm going to be taking a look at this is because I feel like a lot of them are pretty great, okay? In my opinion, pretty great. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'd like to bring attention to my own suggestion right here, which is a new skin banner where you can obtain new awesome skins using either gold, maybe gems, or a new currency. And this is essentially because I feel like skins in Anime Vanguards is a very underutilized thing. Right now, there's only really a few skins in Anime Vanguards, and a lot of these skins are for units that are not even used in the meta anymore. Chozo, kinda good, but not really used in the meta anymore. Raps, which is Sasuke, not really used in the meta anymore. Kimona, I guess, is pretty fine. Some of these are still pretty good, but again, there's just such a few selection of skins that you actually have, and a large majority of the skins actually that are really diverse and really great are those that you can obtain using Robux from the bundles or using, tournaments. If you, like, for example, get a really high placement in leaderboard, you can actually get some of these skins. And I feel like that's just really underutilized because skins, I don't know if you guys agree with me, is just really great, really awesome. But the way it's being treated right now, like I said right here, it's just not utilized enough. So what essentially I'm recommending is a skin banner or maybe a skin shop where players could get skins. And these skins, in my opinion, because one of the bigger problems I see is that they're making skins for units that aren't really relevant anymore. And I feel like it would be better if they make skins for units that are relevant, because it would, just make those skins have a higher value. We would want to get them more, right? So that is my first suggestion. Comment down below what you guys think about this first suggestion right here, which is the new skin banner where you can obtain new awesome skins using whatever currency the developers want. The next one right here is something called Locked Attack Area. And essentially what this just means is an option to lock where your unit would attack. The example I made is for Cone AoE, but would work well with Circle AoE as well. And what this means is basically the unit would only attack the area if there are 2+ enemies inside it. If there isn't any enemy on the attack area, the unit would attack the first unit on this range until 2+ enemies. Basically what it's just saying right here is that we should be able to lock the AoE of certain units. Like, let's say this is an AoE unit right here. What he's proposing is to add a mechanic where you can lock the AoE of that unit to basically just attack a certain area. So this would work really well for basically every other AoE unit apart from full AoE units. And I think this is pretty great because this would add a lot of strategy to the game. I feel like it would be really great because it would add just so much more strategy. But from what I'm seeing right here, a lot of people are saying that this might actually be too overpowered if, you allow this for every unit in the game. Because every single unit in the game being able to just, focus their AoE somewhere is just really good. I feel like that really isn't that big of a problem, and I feel like this is actually pretty good. But another way that I could see this getting added is if they make it so that it's part of a support unit. Like, let's say if they ever add Attack on Titan Erwin, instead of Erwin giving buffs, I think they could make it so that, you could use Erwin and he's gonna have an active ability, and you could use Erwin's active ability to maybe lock the AoE of a certain unit to a certain place. So it's gonna act like as if Erwin is directing units where to attack, which I think would be a really unique really unique support ability for Erwin. This one right here is just another QOL. This is really great. I really want this. Just be able to drag units to make life easier. Right now, you need to genuinely equip and unequip units in order to really just, be able to change their placements. And the reason why this is probably important is because right now, for example, let's say I want to flex my monarchs and make it so that my monarchs are the ones that are being displayed. I'll have to drag unequip Sid unequip Rimuru and then maybe, equip them again. Or maybe do, yeah, you can see right here, right? Like just how broken and kind of dumb that is. Yeah, you can see I'd have to unequip these 3 units right here, or 2 other units to move Sid's placement, which I think is just really too much of a hassle. And it would be great if we had a quality of life feature like this one. And another one that I have right here is about Odyssey. Now, Odyssey is way too slow and not that rewarding. I want to farm familiars for my units given the fact that there are so many meta units and I want a perfect familiar for every unit, or at least a good one, in my opinion. I have to farm Odyssey for multiple hours to get like 15 Phoenix shards, which is not enough. Please either higher the rewards or make Odyssey a faster paced game mode. Nowadays, we get a lot of meter units, and to farm a perfect Black Spirit for every one of them is incredibly hard. And somebody right here said that was in a really early stage. I'm not sure if the reason why they're stopping this is because of macros, but I tested Odyssey a bunch of times. Like I got Kaguya Monarch a while ago, so I tested Odyssey and I wanted to maybe farm and get a really great strange cat for Kaguya, but it genuinely was so hard. Like I think the grind to get a good strange cat, or the grind to get a perfect strange cat at this point for me is harder than to get Kaguya, because to get Kaguya I genuinely just have to farm the portals. To basically get a good strange cat, I have to get lucky with wooden chests, then I have to farm Odyssey for hours upon hours on end, and you're gonna have to juggle your units. You can't even just use one unit load order, so you're gonna have to replace units, and then at the end of the day you're gonna have to get lucky with what rewards you're gonna get, and then once you get those rewards you're gonna have to gamble on the strange cat, and then again it's gonna be a gamble. So it genuinely is such a toxic grind, and I feel like if this is supposedly how these familiars should work, and if this is how these familiars are intended to work, I just feel like that's not really great, because at that point you're basically just making familiars less and less interesting or less and less approachable for people, because familiars are supposed to increase the abilities and usefulness and power of our units, but at the rate it's going right now, it's genuinely not even approachable for most people to do that, because it's so hard to farm for certain familiars, for certain items, right? And then once you farm for them, you also have to gamble. So it's just genuinely really hard, and I feel like maybe they should increase the reward for Odyssey to make familiars more approachable, because I really feel like familiars are something that not many people are using, and this is mainly because the only way to really get good familiars is to farm Odyssey and get lucky with your gambling when you're rerolling familiars, which I think is just so bad. There are also some other certain suggestions here that I'll now be glancing over that I also really like, but yeah, I think that's gonna be it pretty much for today's video, because yeah. Actually, before I end this video, there are some things that I want to go over that I think is pretty important to go over. So things like 2x speed. This has been confirmed by the developers themselves to just never be added. Like I asked the developer, specifically the planner or the balancer, and he told me that 2x speed is just never gonna happen, mainly because Anime Vanguards doesn't need 2x speed. Things like shiny trade reroll probably will not happen. Shiny trade transfer, but trade transfer in general are things that are likely never going to happen, and I think it's a decision that they made because they feel like the game doesn't really need it and the game won't benefit from it. So I keep seeing, trade transfer or 2x speed or auto upgrade. Those things are likely never gonna get added in AV. And yeah, I asked for that a bunch of times because of the comments, and they said multiple times to me directly that they're just never gonna do it. So yeah, it's time to stop suggesting 2x speed, guys. But anyways, pretty much it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.